Hey y'all, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Monday. It's misdemeanor malfeasance maximum security Monday.
Meatloaf Monday. Mashed
Sure.
potato Monday.
Oh, hey Keisha.
Hey, Mary Payne, how are you?
I'm good. Are you gearing up for Thanksgiving week when people are out of school, up in your business, in your house?
Slowly but surely, and I'm going to attempt for the second year in a row to have the Christmas tree up before Thanksgiving, which goes against everything that I believe.
Then why are you doing it?
I did it last year, and everyone really seemed to like it.
Oh, okay. You're doing it for
So
other people. Gotcha.
I'm
Okay.
gonna do it again this year, but I don't believe I'm still celebrating Halloween. I'm
Right.
still in that mode, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to go ahead and do it for them. And plus my Christmas tree has like a Gryffindor theme and
Okay.
like the top is a sorting hat. So
Okay.
I still get a little bit of my spooky vibes going on. You know what I mean? So yes.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
cute.
Uh-huh.
Since we're going out of town for Christmas, I'm not putting up one decoration.
Oh, you sure don't because you'll be in Paris.
Not one. Not one. And that's hard for me because decorating for Christmas really gives me a lot of joy. Like I really like
Mm.
it. And then I really love the day after Christmas to take it all down. That also gives me a lot of joy.
Ooh.
But I'm not going to do any of that this year. I'm going to just be like pre-recording podcasts and things and
Right.
just going to just work until the minute I leave and then hopefully have a wonderful content out for the people. And so we know that we're going to be doing, you and I have kind of been discussing schedules and we're going to be
Mhm.
missing one Love After Lockup won't be recapped because they're
Okay.
putting one
Mhm.
out like right before Christmas and I'll be gone. So just be,
Yeah.
yeah, on the, whatever is that?
It was like the
What?
22nd or something like that, right?
Yeah, they're putting one out on the 22nd.
Which is so funny because most reality TV shows, they don't
Take a
have a
break.
new episode. But Matt Sharp is like, we are giving the people what they want and they
Yeah.
want to see this. So
Yeah.
we'll try to respect that a little bit.
Yeah. And usually Matt Sharp only takes a break for the Super Bowl, but he is taking a little bit of a break on the 90-day. He's wrapping the 90 days up so that you're just going to be doing like fun pillow talks and stuff
Okay.
at the end of the year. And then we're going to kick back in the beginning of the year with, I believe, like some single life and some other shows that they're going to do. Now, we also got word that Matt Sharp is putting out a show called Innocent After Lockup.
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
Why?
what are we, what?
I'm gonna watch it, but I don't think that it's gonna be like the trash that we're used to. I think this is gonna be really like, tugging on our heartstrings a little bit.
Right.
It's gonna be a little bit serious, but it's also gonna make us do some investigative work because we're gonna want to do some deep dives on these people and their situations. But this is different. This is
But is it,
different.
we don't even know. Like somebody just posted it because I haven't heard about this. So it's like, is it a show? Is it a one part situation that they're just going to drop
I
between?
don't know.
We don't know. So we're
Mm-mm.
going to
I have no
investigate
idea.
that. I've sent a word out to my WeTV person and said, thanks for, because this person let me know like kind of what was going on between now and the end of the year. And so I wrote back,
Hmm.
I was like, what's going on with the Innocent After Lockup?
Right.
Is that, because I'll have to cover it. I'm going to need to have more information.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't be dropping these shows on us, dang it.
Yeah, they did just drop. They're like, here you go. And then they just left it. No explanation, no nothing. Like, here you go.
Is it one show? Is it 12 shows? Is it simultaneous? Is it in addition to that Thursday thing that I've never watched? What is it?
Oh, God. Speaking of that Thursday thing that you never watch,
Yeah, yeah. What
they
happened?
had Lisa and Stan, and then they
Yeah.
also had Lacey and Antoine. But
Mm,
who cares about any of that? Lisa's wig situation.
I saw it. I saw a
Oh, my
screenshot of that and I
God.
was like, from a screenshot from a television to an iPhone, I can tell that's a problem.
It was so bad. I'm like, why would she not glue the bottom half of the wig onto her face? Never mind the whole blessed tattoo that she has on her forehead. But
Hmm.
what I don't know. But she thinks she looks so good. The confidence is through the roof. But
Good.
that
Well, you know
wig,
what? Yeah.
oh yeah, that wig, that synthetic wig. No. Mm-mm. She needs
I
to hop
liked
over to
I
Kim
like the
Zolciak's
bravery.
page and try to see if she can get a payment system and buy one of wigs, you know.
That's right, because
Yeah.
those are some good
Hmm.
wigs. Those are
Those are
beautiful.
good wigs. Yeah,
Yeah.
she needs some help. Big time.
Yeah, I think it's probably not first, but it seems like her hair would have grown out by now. We hadn't seen her on TV in at least a year.
You would think, but then again, it is Lisa.
Maybe
So
she
we
just
don't
enjoys
know.
wigs. She likes wig culture.
And some people are like that. They just like to wear a wig, but wear it well and correctly. And if you're
Yeah.
gonna do it,
Yeah.
and
Well,
she wasn't doing it.
she's blessed. It says it right there above her eyebrow. So
That's so
yeah.
bad.
Oh my god! I know
Oh,
one
Lisa.
day maybe I'll go back because they're on my DVR records those Thursday
Mm,
shows, and sometimes I'm like, why do I have so many Love After Lockups on here? And then
yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's recording that. I just never watch it. I do not have the time. Oh, I
I
wish I
always
did.
forget about it. And then I'm just like scrolling. I'm like, you can ask James. I'm like, damn, I forgot it was on. And so I think I got to watch like the last 15, 20 minutes of it. And that was enough for
So
me.
did you find out anything about, speaking of face tattoos, Lacey and Antoine? Because they
They're
had a
still
baby.
together. They have
Yeah.
a baby. The baby's cute. They look trashy as ever.
Hmm.
His mom did die this
Yes, I
year.
know. Yeah.
And they have her earning their house. And they
Okay.
seem to be doing okay.
Yeah, because we forget she had those 4 kids from somebody else before she left that man to go be with the inmate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh?
they look trashy. I will say
Yeah.
that indeed. But they seem to be doing good, and they're talking about having another baby.
Oh, sure. Great idea. Make it 6.
Yeah.
Why not? Why
Not for
not?
me. Not for me.
Well, let's get into the current inmates we got going on here because this is a good episode. It was a
It
lot to
was.
it.
Yeah.
Um, we are going to talk about season 5, episode 10, Running from Love. Okay.
That could be like the episode name of all of these episodes.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Somebody's always running from love.
Yes.
Always.
Or the law. Or the law.
Love or the law.
Yes.
So one of them is
Love
going
or
to
the
get you
law.
first.
That's right.
That could be a spinoff.
Yeah.
So Running from Love. We'll start off with Sharae and Anthony. We didn't get too much from them. Now, because I missed that episode that you did with Kimberly a couple of weeks
Yeah.
back, and they weren't on last week, I don't really
Mm.
know what happened at the party other than he proposed. Everybody's like, wait, I thought you were already married.
Yeah, and as soon as the proposal was over, they had to haul ass home, and that's where you get caught up to like the other night's
Yeah.
episode. Them just trying to get in there before his curfew is over. You miss Sharae's hair and makeup
Mm-hmm.
situation that was going on. 1 minute she had on a full face of glitter makeup and
Uh-huh.
crimped hair. Then this same event, we see her again, and it was like it was straight, and her makeup was washed. It was a whole hot mess, and lots of
Bad editing. Bad editing.
it had my anxiety a little bit high. I'm like, oh my
Okay.
gosh, I can't keep. Is it just me? Am I seeing things? Yeah, it was pretty bad. Yeah,
Okay.
very bad
All right.
editing.
We're going to talk about some bad editing when we get to Red and Joy Nomi because a viewer and a listener of this podcast reached out to give us some inside scoop on some bad editing with Red and Joy Nomi. So I
I
love
think
some
I
inside
saw
scoop
someone said something like that, but I don't remember the details, so I'm excited.
because usually you're bringing me all the tea. So I'm glad that I actually
Yeah.
have some for once.
A tiny bit of tea about these two right here that we're talking about.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. So do you want to tell me before or after we get started?
Oh, it's just, we think, and we may be proven right, wrong, I should say, that, we were kind of rooting for Anthony. Like, oh, he's going to be a good guy.
Yeah.
It turns out, he's trying to be like Kerok and do the holiday arrest and stuff like that because he got arrested on Halloween.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But I also saw where one of his baby mamas accused him of domestic violence. And she, she even posted like when he got arrested, and it said that he was arrested and charged with 2nd-degree criminal contempt and obstruction of breathing.
What? That's when he got arrested with her.
Yes. So, obstruction of breathing, that means you're trying to choke a hoe right there.
That means you're trying to unalive them. Yes.
You're trying to unalive them. Yeah. And so seems like Sharae, which I totally 100% believe this, reached out to this girl
Uh-huh.
on Facebook. The girl kind of blocked her, so she stalked her on Instagram, and they got to talking, and she's like, I don't really want him to be around my kid. I'm
Mm-hmm.
afraid of him. He has nothing. My son knows nothing of him. And just from what I was reading, it seems like Sharae was alluding to, hey, he was my first boyfriend, and I did leave him for reasonings. So kind of alluding to maybe there might have been some abuse. That's why she left him, because that's the conversation that these two are having, the baby mama and Sharae. So I
Okay.
guess we shall see.
So we see Sharae has come to her senses and dumped him.
No, this was from when she first dumped him when they were young. So she was kind of
Oh.
alluding to maybe that was the reason that she had to leave him, was because there was a little bit of aggression on his part
When they were 14.
when they were 14. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. All right. Well, we'll keep posted on those. All right.
Yeah,
So
we'll do.
we see Sharae and Anthony headed home like Cinderella turning into a pumpkin. They got to get there. They got to get there. 1 a.m. is coming. Yeah.
But with pleather shoes and pleather shorts on. It is all Sheen by Sharae, because you can't tell me everything she had on wasn't from Sheen.
And that's, you know what? Sometimes that's
and
all right.
fine. And that's fine. But get the right size.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not her strong suit. So he was like, I got to be there by 1 a.m. And he's just sort of like, you better hurry. So they arrive at 12:59 to the apartment. And she's like, run, hurry. Like, you've got to be in the apartment, because they've got that, probably it's like a Wi-Fi system. Like, the minute you hit the door, that's when it counts. So being in the parking lot doesn't count.
No, it doesn't.
So she's like, hurry. And she's just running up the stairs, and the camera's following her. And he's just like, all right. He's just like Eeyore. Okay, just super slow.
Now,
It's
this guy,
12:59.
Sharae was running like he should have been running. She was running like she was on parole. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And this guy, Mary Payne, I have to tell you, he's the human equivalent of a Dewey Decimal System. He's so bland and boring. He's just the worst. He is. Like, I don't. He is. I don't get him. I don't get him at all.
I don't get him, and I don't understand what stimulating conversations they have had to make her be so goo goo gaga over him.
I don't either.
There's got to be a whole other side to him that's interesting that we don't know about.
Well, we'd like to see.
We'd like to see it. So they get in at exactly 1 a.m. on the exact dot, and he puts his ankle on the charger. And so they're talking about the party, and she's like, your friends didn't show up, and everybody's questioning, why we lied about the marriage. But he's like, I appreciated the party. And then she says, she cries in her talking heads, like, he's so amazing.
Well, because he said, I appreciated the party. That makes him so great and wonderful. I mean, he didn't look like he had a good time at all. But maybe she's just crying because they're actually engaged this time.
Right. We don't know. So the next morning, they're in bed, and she has on that full face of glitter makeup in the bed.
Okay, look, Mary Payne.
Yeah.
When I get my makeup done and it just looks so good.
Yeah.
And I paid for it. Yeah. I may have to sleep real cute that night and wake up with some of that makeup on. Now, normally I have to wash my face, but I mean, it looks good.
But later on, when she's in the den doing that fake interview, she doesn't have that glitter makeup on. So I'm wondering, Keisha, if they filmed all that party stuff, and then the next day they came in, and then she washed her face, straightened her hair, got ready to do this fake interview thing, and they were like, "Oh, we forgot to get this thing from last night, so why don't you pretend it's last night?" And now she's got a whole different hair and makeup going on.
Something, because it just was not adding up at all, and I could hardly watch the scene because I kept looking at the damn hair and the makeup.
Yeah, she's probably like, I don't even have that glitter. I had a makeup artist do that. How am I going to glitter up my face? I don't even own that.
She's booked for the day, so I'm on my own with my makeup here. So bear with me.
So she's like, listen, we're going to do, you're going to nail this interview that you have today. He's like, okay. So then we find out the interview is with her. It's a mock interview in the den, but he's got to be hooked up to his monitor while he does it. So So anyway, they sit down. She's like, "Oh, hello, Mr. Anthony. Wow, it's
Mm,
wonderful to see you for the interview." She reminds
right.
us she's an HR director. He reminds us that she reminds him constantly that she's an HR director, and she's just trying to show off her skills, right?
Yes.
So she says, "Oh, so I see you have your resume," and he hands it to her, and she goes, "Listen, don't just slap it into my hand. Have some
That,
energy." He's like,
that resume
"Oh."
would have flew right back at him if he had slapped it in my hand like that. Floop. Just like, here you go. Try again, buddy.
And his talking head, he goes, "Listen, I mean, I'm not just a street guy. I have had real jobs and I have done interviews before. Like, I don't need this. Like, I don't need her to show me her skill." I was like, "Well, you've been in prison for a long time and she
Yeah.
actually can show you how to do a good interview. So come on now."
She's
So,
trying with him.
yeah. And so he says he worked in a warehouse in 2014, 10 years ago.
He
And,
got arrested in 2015.
yeah. And
That,
so
that, that stuff I was reading you was from 2015.
And she says, "Oh, well, okay, so I'm looking here. Oh, it looks like you are a peer representative in prison. Oh, so
Mm-hmm.
were you working with the prisoners at the system as a teacher's aide? Explain that to me."
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Well, I was co-incarcerated." I don't know. He used some big words to basically say I was also
I was in
incarcerated.
prison.
Yeah. And I was chosen as a teacher's aide. Whatever. It sounded, whatever she had written on that resume did sound real good.
Yes, but he did not
Yeah.
do a good job of explaining it.
Yeah. But it was like, okay, the way she wrote it. And
Mm,
then she's like, "But what I'm going to tell you is, even though it's written this way, someone's going to ask you, oh, were
right.
you volunteering at the prison?" You're going to have to explain you were actually in the prison, right?
Yes.
So then she says, "Listen, I'm going to ask you, do you have any questions for me? Because it should always be a back and forth." "Okay, so Mr. Anthony, do you have any questions for me that I can answer?" And he goes, "No." She goes, "Okay, any
Ugh.
follow-up questions about the job?" He goes, "Uh-uh." And she goes,
I-
"Okay, okay." She's like, "He's not doing well. He's not doing well."
no, he didn't even ask, how often do we get paid?
Mm-mm.
Is it the 1st and the 15th? I mean, there was just no, at least ask that question and show some interest in the job. But there's none.
When do you need me to start? Do I get
Yes.
overtime? Do I get a paid
Insurance.
lunch?
Yes. I
Is
mean,
there a
something.
401k? Something,
Yeah. Hmm.
something. Will I have any coworkers? How many other people
Right.
do my same job? I mean, there's lots of things you could ask.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Listen, if this was me interviewing him, I would not give him the job.
Right.
He's swinging around in his chair. He won't look people in the eyes, and he's like,
Hmm.
You're wrong for that."
Yeah.
He gets back in the bed after he charges up his ankle monitor. And her talking head, she goes like, I'm a problem solver. And
Mm.
he's so nonchalant about everything. And this is going to be a problem going forward. Like, he can't take care of himself and do things
No.
and advocate for himself. How will he take care of us?
Well, he won't accept help that she's trying to give him.
Well, he just is annoyed by it. He's like, "It's like I'm in prison. You're like my warden." But then he says that he likes that about her because they're a good balance, you know?
Right. But he also, I don't think he's been out of prison a whole week.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So this is still a lot for him. I'll rock with him a little bit because it's all still very fresh.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's sleeping in a queen size bed right now when he's used to sleeping on a box board in prison.
That bed
So
looked like a double, Keisha. It looked small.
it did look kind of small.
It looked like a
It did.
double.
But
It
it couldn't
did.
have been a double. There's no way.
It didn't
But
look
it
like
was
a
small.
queen.
I know it. Okay, so there has to be a size in between a double and a queen. A
There's
duchess,
not.
perhaps? Is there? There's no. Because you're right. It's very small, but I'm like, there's no way they could fit in a double.
I think.
But it
I
wasn't
mean,
a queen.
she seems pretty short, so maybe they could.
I guess. And he's little.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's huge.
Yeah.
All
Mm-mm.
right, let's move on to Chelsea and Mikey. Do you have any information about them before we start?
Okay. The only thing is not information.
Yeah.
Just two things. Okay. They both have been doing lives on TikToks, right?
Okay.
On TikTok.
Uh-huh.
And during the season, I'm like, Mike's a really good guy, but I've never thought that he was good looking.
No.
But he's good looking now.
Oh, well, how'd that happen?
He's plumped up. His face looks real good.
Did he grow his hair out a little bit? Because his hair was so
he always
short.
has. He's still short, but he always has on a hat. He's working, so he looks good.
Good.
My only issue is that Chelsea does TikToks
Mhm.
with no subtitles. So no one knows what she's saying unless you're deaf or can understand ASL. I
Huh.
know. Very odd. Very odd.
Well, maybe she's on deaf TikTok. You know what I mean? There's a whole TikTok just for deaf people, and that's her audience.
But it's coming on my FYP.
Well, it's your FYP because you look up these other losers. Yeah.
Well,
Are they
okay.
together? Are they together?
Yeah, they're just
They are.
They're
Are
together.
they in Ohio?
Looks like it from what I can
Okay.
see. Yeah.
All right. Well, what about Hadley?
Oh, little sassy Hadley.
She's so cute.
I know she is.
All right, so it's 1 month. He's been out of prison 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
And we see Mikey at his sister Courtney's house. He's working on the farm. He says, this has been great. The farm is right here, and his hair's grown out a little bit, which made me happy. It was a little bit longer.
Right.
And he says his support system there in Kentucky is huge. He's got his sister, his daughter, of course, and his grandparents. He's like, it's hard work there on the farm, but he's really happy about it because he's making money and he just, he gets up every day and he works and he gets to see his kid. And I think all that is just like, he's in a very good situation, right?
Yeah.
And so his friend David comes over. Well, hello, David.
Can we have a season with David? Because
what's David's story?
Well, he just came out with his man bun and all his sexiness, and I'm like, I need to know more about you, Dave. Like, what's your background? What's your story?
Well, what was David? Was he in for just a couple of weeks, like failure to pay some parking tickets?
I don't know.
Was he a hardened criminal? What's happening with David?
It doesn't matter because it came out looking so goddamn fine.
Yeah,
the David's cute. Good. Yeah, real cute.
So David has been out now for a week. So he comes over and they kind of talk about, oh yeah, it's so weird and it's so awkward. And David's like, I didn't want to leave my house. Like it's weird to go to the grocery store and stuff. And they kind of talk about that. And he says, he's going to Ohio soon to see Chelsea. He's very nervous about meeting her dad, because he's a little bit of a alleged white supremacist psycho. So,
wait a minute. Where did the white supremacist part come from? Did I miss this? What did I miss?
I think it's an alleged assumption. And I think they've said that lots of like hats and shirts, things that he's worn, they blurred out.
Oh, I thought maybe it was political stuff, like Trump stuff, and they were just blurring it out because they didn't want to be political. But you think it was other stuff too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'll have to pay more attention.
Yeah, that's what I've seen on the Reddit. And, sometimes I don't like to look at the Reddit too much because I don't ever want to see anything about me on there, or I get terrified. Right. I'm going to accidentally run across somebody saying something bad about me, and I'm going to panic. It's happened.
Yeah, I saw someone said something about me on being on your show. They're like, that Keisha's just too much.
You're like,
so hard.
Sometimes I screenshot it and send it to Ingrid. She's like, do I have to come out of there and slap that phone out of your hand? I've told you not to look at it.
We should.
Lord. All right. I know. So Mikey says, her dad also thinks I killed somebody because I got this teardrop tattoo. And David's like, oh, man, that's messed up. I'm like,
but that used to mean that.
Well, this would be a good opportunity for you to tell us why you have it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what us normal people think that means. At least it used to mean that.
Well, I think that Dad said to her in a past season rather, that it means either you've been in prison for 10 years or you killed somebody. I mean, those are two very different things, but Dad is the one that said that. But why don't we know? Why don't we know the answer?
But clearly it's not because he's killed someone because, well,
he just said it just now. Yeah. Yeah. So why did he
get it? Maybe it matters which side of the face it's on.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah. That's still too close for me. Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah. So, and then he says, I got to figure out the situation with the money because Chelsea recently told me she has about $5,000 in savings. And I don't care about that. I don't care how much money she's got. I just need to know where you got it, where it came from. Okay.
Right.
And so we see him talking to her on the phone and she's like, no, and like hangs up on him. And he's like, okay, shit. And he goes, she said she's selling stuff online, but here's the thing. I just got out of prison. And my thought is it's something illegal or she's got a sugar daddy or something. But I can't move to Ohio and live with her if she's doing something shady. So he's right.
I mean, he's right. I mean, we went from one episode of her not having, thinking she didn't have enough money to feed her kids. And she, lost all of her benefits. And now all of a sudden she's got $5,000 in the bank.
Right.
Where is it? She's not selling stuff on Etsy. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, people are like, "Oh, she's just selling stuff out of her house." I go, "Have you
seen her house? Like, what would anyone want to buy?"
I don't know. But there was the rumors a while back, or somebody posted in one of these various groups, like, she's my neighbor, and this is all alleged in a Facebook group, so who the fuck knows if it's true? But somebody wrote in one of those groups a while back, like, she did have her younger kid like going through the neighborhood trying to sell her weed. Like,
I saw that too. Yeah. I mean,
so maybe she was into some shady shit a while back when she was with these other bad guys, but now she's got with the good guy, and maybe she doesn't do that shit anymore. But I don't think Mikey. I just have high hopes for him, and I think he's right. I think he doesn't want to move in with her if something shady's going down. He don't want to be involved because he could go back to prison. For real.
Exactly. And how bad to be, have to get sent back to prison for shit that you didn't do.
Right.
You were just at the wrong place at the wrong time. And I mean, I'm curious. I would want to know where the money came from too. Because you were just so broke. You couldn't even afford like an extra day at the hotel for us.
Right. Yeah, right. So now we're at Chelsea's father's house. And Chelsea's there with him. And she's telling Dad, I really want you to meet Mikey. And Dad says, what makes this guy any different from all the other people you've brought around? And she says, Mikey really loves her. He has his own money. He's got a job. He doesn't want anything from her. He just, just is a good dad to his kid. And he really loves Trevor. And she's, telling all these good things. And Dad's like, we'll see. And she says, yeah, he wants to live and help with Trevor and everything. He said, you've never had anyone be a help to you. So how is this guy all of a sudden different? You've always done everything yourself. And, I do worry about Mikey because he knows how to do identity theft. So I was like, looking, I was like, I've got on my list here of what he was in prison for was criminal mischief and stolen property.
Right. Which the stolen property was the car. We know that.
And he stole cars. Right.
Yeah. But nothing about identity theft.
Is he a computer genius and we didn't know this?
I don't know, but I was watching the show and I all of a sudden realized that Chelsea's dad, do you remember that guy who drank too much silver and his face turned blue? That is who our dad looks like. So when we're done, I want you to go Google the man whose face turned blue and then look at Chelsea's dad. It's the same person. It's like the blue guy stopped drinking all the silver and went back to his original skin color, and that's Chelsea's dad. They look just alike.
Why would somebody drink a bunch of silver?
A crazy person. I don't know. I can't remember the reason behind it, but he did.
Okay,
it was on 2020.
It sounds so familiar.
When you look it up and you see his face, you're going to be like, oh my God, that's Chelsea's dad, just not blue.
I had a sorority sister in college that went on a eat nothing but carrots diet and she turned orange.
Like, how orange did she turn? Like, what shade?
like a bad spray tan orange. Like, she was orange.
That is, she just ate and drank nothing but carrot stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. She was like, this is my diet. And she was like, for a couple of weeks, nothing but anything carrot based she was eating. And all of a sudden we're like, girl, you're orange.
That's funny.
That's funny. Okay. So Mikey goes to see his daughter, Hadley, who's 8. She's so cute. And he's like, Mom over there in the truck. She's not going to get out of the truck. That's okay.
She don't want to talk to me.
He was like, I get it. That's okay. And so she's showing him some tricks on her hoverboard and stuff. And Hadley says, I wish that you wouldn't go to Ohio, because he was saying he's going to go visit Chelsea and he's going to be gone for a couple of weeks. He's like, I'm only going to be gone for 2 weeks. She's like, yeah, but like you might not come back. And he says, he is worried about his daughter, his family, his finances. He's got a lot on his plate. So then he gives her a couple real cute, like 2 butterfly necklaces. Yeah. She really likes butterflies. And he says, yeah, these are real rose gold and real diamonds. Mm-hmm. Now we have to assume this is like chipped diamonds and it's like rose gold plated and he got it from Kohl's and that's great. But I was like,
Yeah,
that's cute because he did probably
he
save
did. Yeah,
more money to buy her a present. That's sweet.
I mean, he's, when you think about all the people we've had to deal with,
Mhm.
he is top tier.
Yeah,
Like,
and so far he hadn't disappointed us in real life either.
no, because he did a TikTok. He was on his lunch break, eating in his truck, and saying that he's getting ready for promotion at work and all this kind of stuff. So,
Ah,
and he looks good. He looks so healthy.
all
Just
right.
he really does.
Because he kind of looks a little yellow, what we see him now, but he's also been in
Yeah,
prison and it's the dead of winter. So, yeah.
and then his face looks kind of sunken in a little bit.
Uh
To
huh.
me, it does, but he looks. Everything looks right. His he's got like perfect skin.
Well,
It's
that's
yeah.
all right.
He
Well,
looks good.
so, she Hadley hugs him and was like, "You're the best dad ever." And he tells us, like, "I'm so grateful for her. I'm so grateful I'm able to have this relationship with her." And then Hadley says, he says, she says, "When you go there, are you going to propose to Chelsea?" And he
Hmm.
laughs. He goes, "No, I'm not planning on it." And she says, "Why? You don't want me to be married to Chelsea?" And she says, "I don't want you to get married to Chelsea because I want to be able to live with you. And if you go to Ohio, that'll make me sad. It'll like remind me of when you went to prison," which is
This
really
is a
sad.
lot. And
A
no, this
lot.
is, I mean, he's got to be totally torn. Do I
Yeah.
move for a better life for
Yeah.
myself and my kid, but then I have to distance myself from my kid? Because she really loves her dad a lot.
I know. I mean, Chelsea's choice would be she would have to leave her two older kids and then bring just Trevor and move to Kentucky, but she's got more rooting her in Ohio. But maybe not really. It's the same actually. And she doesn't seem to have like a job that she's got to stay for.
No,
Hmm.
nope, nope, not at all.
So he tells her, like, when I get back from Ohio, I'm gonna let you come and stay at the house, and we could stay for like a whole week. I could take you to school every
Right.
day. Maybe I could pick you up in the afternoon. Would you like that? And she says, yeah. So I'm glad that the whoever is the mom is really, you know, nurturing that relationship and letting
Right.
him. She could see that he's doing
Spend
all right,
time.
and yeah,
Right.
letting them be together. All
Even though
right.
she's a Karen, according to Hadley, she's a Karen.
Well, my kids probably think I'm a Karen. You know.
Yeah, Scholar calls me Karen Nisha. So.
I love that. All right, let's talk about Andy and Brittany. What's the latest on these two knuckleheads? What's the scoop you've got on these two dum dums?
All I know is that on Andy's, I can't remember if it's Instagram or his Facebook, but you know
Yeah,
how you can put looks like it's Facebook. You have your name, then you could put like a little quote or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
So under Andy's it says, "I'm just a Maserati in a world of Kias.
I'm a Maserati in a row of Kias,
A world of Kias."
a world of Kias. Oh, okay. Bless your
Mhm.
heart. You are the Kia of all the Kias.
Yeah, and I went on Brittany's page, and boy, oh boy, she needs to set that shit to private because they are ripping her a new asshole. Like every time she
Is it like
posts,
Instagram or Twitter or
it's
what?
her Facebook.
Oh, okay.
People are just like, "You're so fucking horrible. Why are you doing this to Andy? We hate you. You're like the worst." All kinds of
Wow.
like, girl, put this on private. Like, lock this shit down. This is pretty bad.
I did see that people said that people were just ripping her apart, like people were posting on Twitter, and then she would respond, and then people would rip her apart, and I was just like,
She should not try to respond.
mm, well,
Because we're still
gosh,
watching you on TV being an asshole. Like, there's
right.
nothing
And we're supposed to
you
believe
can
that now
really
she's
say.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
So we start this segment with these two. She's just in the yard asking people driving by in their cars, "Hey, you got a phone? You got a phone? Hey, you got a phone?" Meanwhile, she's got access to a phone right there.
I still don't understand the logic behind I'm leaving the phone as well
She
because
had a
it's
little
over
sticky on top of it.
$100.
Did you see
What
it
did it
was a little
say?
sticky on? I don't know. I couldn't tell. It was like a little mini sticky. Was right on top of it. It was probably like "fuck off." I don't know what it said.
I don't get it. Just go pick up the phone, call your ride, and then leave the phone there.
Yeah, I don't.
She
She's not.
stresses herself.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
She does it to herself.
So Andy walks out in the yard. He's glad there to
Mhm.
like tell her like Gracie's looking for you, and she says to Andy like he's somebody driving by. She goes, "Can I use your phone?" And he goes, sure. Gracie called. She's looking for you. Where's your phone? And she goes, I left it in the front seat of your car. And he's like, huh? And then she uses his phone to call Gracie and says, tell grandma to come pick me up. And then she describes, like, I'm across from this church. It looks like there's a factory. Do you know where this is? She's describing it. Okay.
No names, no nothing until like Gracie's like, no, I don't know where that is.
Yeah, so tell grandma, blah, blah, blah. So, of course, whatever. This is all makes no sense. So he's like, I don't know what we're doing here. Like, I've got this place. I wouldn't be in Rome, Georgia, if it wasn't for her. Like, I got this place for us. I'm only in Rome for Brittany. I don't know what we're doing here. Now he's fully packed. He's fully packed.
It wasn't much, but he's leaving his home.
He's got like a suitcase and some hanging shirts. Like, when did he pack?
I don't know. And why is he packing? And why does he still have on that same blue shirt?
What is...
There's a lot going on.
We need some better editors on this show.
Yes, because we need more, like, what made him go and pack? How long did it take him to pack? Why is he leaving? Where is he going? Like, is this really his home? Is he leaving so she could stay there? There's just a lot of questions.
Also, where's Barry? Where's Barry?
Barry's like, I'm out. I'm going back to my sister's trailer. I'm out. Yeah. I'm done.
So he's packing up his car, and the producer is like, do you love her? And he goes, well, I do love her, but this is just, I don't know. This is crazy. Now we see Brittany with her giant bag of stuff, and she's just peace out. She's just walking towards this parking lot, right? I guess it's the church parking lot or whatever. And she's like, I'm just done with him. I'm just done with the way he handles things. Like, he's not calm, and he lies. He lies about everything. He lies about lying. So I'm just going to go over here and stand by this dumpster.
She is standing by that dumpster like a fucking possum in the night, looking for a snack with her little box and then her bags. And then she's taking things out of the box and putting them in the bag. And I'm like, just leave it in the box. What is
she doing?
What are you doing?
We've missed so much. This makes zero sense.
None.
So then he starts to drive up, which is just from across the street. Okay.
Yes.
And so she sees that he's driven out of that driveway and is driven over to this parking lot. So she's saying to the producer, is he pulling up? Is he pulling up? What's he doing? What's he doing? I don't want to talk to him. I just want to go to my mom's. What's he doing? So he gets out of the car and he goes, what do I need to do here, Brittany? Now, why don't you just come with me? It's Andy. It's me, Andy. We are Andy and Brittany. What are you doing? And she goes, nope. Nope. I'm just going to stand here by this dumpster. I'm going to stand here by this dumpster waiting for my mom. And he goes, okay, all right. So he gets in his car and he's driving. He goes, I didn't have any idea it would turn out like this. I didn't know it would go this way. And the way she's acting as an addict, it seems like she wants to go use.
Yeah.
And I'm going to wait around and make sure it's her mom that gets her. And it was. So he sits and he watches from afar, and it is her mom that comes to get her. And then
I don't blame him for doing that.
Well, that was nice.
I thought it was pretty nice of him.
But what's he going to do if it's some dealer pulls up? Well, then what's he going to do? Ram him with his car? I mean,
he's going to say, hey, I used to be a cop. Pull over.
I've got an extra cell phone here. I mean, what's he going to do?
Call backup. Junior cop, my friend.
Junior cop's going to show up.
I know, right?
Oh, my God. So she says, I'm just proud of myself for not using, because in this moment, like, that's normally would be a trigger, and that's what I would do. So I'm proud of myself for not using. Okay, well, all right, there's that.
She did this whole, like, girl power thing, and it was just like, Brittany, the only person stressing Brittany out is Brittany.
That's right.
But be proud of yourself and keep blaming Andy for everything. Get your box and your 2 bags and carry on.
And when she called Gracie, it was so sad. Could you tell Gracie was so stressed?
She's
like, what's going on? Why are you, what?
Yeah.
It's just, she's stressing herself out.
Yeah, she's a selfish person. Well,
that's about right. All right, let's go to Melissa and Louie. All of this was so stupid and fake, and I'm annoyed with it because I really like the two of them, and I'm annoyed by this fakery.
Yeah, someone had put on Reddit, they took some screenshots of, I I think it was Melissa's Instagram page, and I think it was like her daughter's first day of her senior year, and
Uh-huh.
Donna was like, "Oh, you look so beautiful. I'm so proud of you." And then Melissa's like, "Thank you." And Donna's like, "That's Mrs. So and so to you," but she's like, "Ha ha, funny from your adoptive mom."
Oh yeah. These two are
Yeah,
so alike. Of course they love each other.
they're saying, "Look, Melissa's just a younger version of Donna, literally."
Totally. Yeah. She
Yeah.
almost kind of looks like her a little bit
No,
too.
they don't kind of look alike. That Donna could be her. Donna is either her mom or Donna is Melissa's dad's sister. We need to run a DNA test here
Yeah.
because
Yeah. They are from the same
there's
area.
a relation. They are.
I did get a DM. I'm just remembering this now, and I'm not gonna. Oh, I won't be able to find it. I don't think. But a monkey wrote and was like, I was in. I believe she was in Melissa. Yeah, she was in Melissa's high school graduating class, and
Ooh.
she's like, I'm here to tell you, Louie is not the hot piece of ass that all of us aspired to get with.
Oh.
He was like hanging out in the smoking lot. You know, he was like that bad boy hanging out in the smoking lot.
Right.
Like he wasn't like, oh my God, this is like the hottest guy in high school that everybody wants. It definitely was not that. You know,
It was just to Melissa.
just a Melissa. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
So we see him driving and he's like, something's up with my car. It's like making a knocking sound, which of course we're like, LOL, of course. So he goes to his mom's house and he's like, yeah, Melissa's annoyed because, I bought that car and she's mad because she's spending all the money on my teeth. So she's mad and she wanted me to make my own decisions. And then I did. And then she's mad about it. Mom's like, of course she is. Wow, she's horrible.
Where's my koozie for my beer?
That's right. And he says, lately, she's just more and more irritated with me. Like, I don't know what's going on. So the kitchen table is filled with canned goods.
Right.
And he's like, what is all this, Ma? And he goes, all these canned foods. I'm going to make you these broths and these stews because you won't be able to eat after your tooth surgery. So you can have all this soft food.
Right.
And he goes, yeah, Melissa is going to take me to the appointment. We're just going to stay at the hotel. So you don't need to worry about all this. And she's like, no, I'm here. I'm taking you. So Mom's like, Melissa is just so controlling. She just wants to control everything. How can you be with a woman who doesn't even like your mother?
Easily. Take it from me. Very easily.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that happens a lot, actually.
It does.
So Melissa calls him and she's like, babe, I have some really bad news. I can't come and see you for the surgery. There was like an emergency at work. And I'm just really like, wish I could be there with you. And then she tells us, I'm not taking another trip to Georgia when he hasn't hasn't shown me anything that he's trying to actively move to New Jersey. So no, I'm not coming there to Georgia when he hasn't shown me. So I guess he hasn't done the thing where he's got to file the paperwork for the moving the parole over or whatever.
Has it been enough time?
I don't know. I guess so. Oh, this is fake. I'm so annoyed with the whole fakery.
It was so funny because like my dad retired from the postal service. I don't ever remember there being an emergency where, all of a sudden it may be like, oh, you got to work overtime, but never like quite an emergency or anything like that.
No postal emergency. COVID, that was probably a postal emergency because everybody was ordering everything online. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, not now, Melissa. Good try.
So he says, she goes, well, I hate that you're just going to be alone for the surgery. Like, who will take you? And he laughs. He goes, I mean, I live with my mother. Right. So of course she can just take me. And she gets all annoyed. She's like, you can't do anything by yourself. Like your mom does everything for you. He's like, I'm having surgery. Like, of course my mother's going to, you were coming to take, like, I'm having surgery.
And sometimes you're a little bit loopy after surgery, depending on what all is getting done.
Someone has to take care of you after surgery. Yeah.
But why was it so important enough that she was going to come down here to do this, but now that she can't, he needs to do it solo?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
So now it's the day of the surgery and they're in the car. Mom's like, I'm going to be taking care of you whether you like it or not. And it's too bad. Melissa's got something going on at work. And he goes, yeah, it's like a postal emergency. Like, I don't know what it would be. Mm-mm. So they go into the doctor's office. And again, I don't even know if this is true because the doctor comes out and says, we had a pipe burst. So we're waiting for somebody to come and fix it. So we have to wait. So I don't know if this is true or they were like, we got to pretend that there's a reason we have to be in the waiting room. So let's come up with a pipe burst. I don't know.
I think it was that because they could have called him, so he
Right.
wouldn't have driven up there if that were the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Louie calls Melissa and was like, oh man, you won't believe this. The surgery might be delayed. There's like a pipe burst. They're waiting for to get it fixed. And she goes, oh, okay. So then you're just going to go home like by yourself? And he goes, this is ridiculous. Of course, you know, my mother is with me. And Donna's like, of course I'm here. He can't be here by himself. So mom is like, rah, 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 in the background. And Melissa is talking too. And Melissa goes, I can't even have a conversation with you because you take your mother everywhere. So he's like, oh my God. So he goes outside and he FaceTimes her. And she's not at work. She's sitting on the bed with like an open suitcase, right? Like,
why did she even why did she accept the FaceTime when she had just told him not 60 seconds before that she was at work when he called her? Yeah, she should have been decline.
She could have been like, there's some packages coming in. I got to go.
Okay. Yeah. Something. Or maybe be in your uniform, perhaps. She's dressed all in black.
There's a cameraman in her bedroom filming her.
That too.
So she says, he FaceTimes her. She's not at work. And he goes, you're not at work. And she goes, no, I got to tell you, I just decided not to come. He's like, what? And she goes, I decided you need to be more manly and do things on your own. And she goes, I'm the man here. I'm running the household. I'm paying all the bills. And I'm turning into your mother. And I don't want to do that. He goes, but you lied to me. And so that's irrelevant because you did it. Like it's a problem if I did it. And she goes, I don't know, Louie. I just need some space to figure everything out. And I just need a break. And he goes, a break? How do we take a break? We're already in a long distance relationship.
Right.
And she goes, act like a boss. And he goes, okay, I'll act like a boss. Boop. And he hangs up on her. Okay.
You know, she was like, Louie! When he hung up.
All of this is fake. They are crazy in love and happy. And this is all fake. And I'm annoyed. I hate when it's so obviously fake.
Obvious. Someone said that Donna and Melissa are fighting for custody of Louie.
That's a good one.
It is.
So he goes in and he's like, can you believe this? Like, she lied about having to work. She just didn't want to come. She didn't want to come. And, everybody says I'm doing everything the right way. Like I got a job, like I'm doing great. And everybody says I'm doing it the right way, except for her.
Right.
And mom says, sounds like something you should think about. And it sounds like she's breaking up with you. He's like, I don't know. And then she says, you need to stay here and find a good Southern girl and be a good house husband. It'll be fine. You should leave your options open. He's like, wait, what? House husband? What?
House husband? What? Yeah. Where did that come from?
Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Now, this next thing also makes no sense. Because Donna goes up to the counter to ask about the water situation. And there's this girl there who looks like a Pomeranian. Like, what
the hell was that thing on the top of her head? Why?
I saw so many people were like, it looks like she like pulled her hair back to wash her face and forgot to take it down. Like, what was that?
I don't know. It was bad.
It made no sense. Bad. It was right on top of her head.
We can't even take it to wig court because it wasn't a wig.
No. And then we saw her from an earlier conversation when he was first getting his teeth looked out. And she had that same hairdo.
That's just her thing.
That's her thing.
Yeah.
So Donna leans over to that woman and it was like, hey there, hot pants. Can you come out from the back? And she goes, okay. So she comes out and she goes, do you like coffee? Louie, make her some coffee. They're in the waiting room.
Right.
And then it's like, do you have any kids? And she goes, no, I have a dog. Oh, tell me about your dog. It's a Chihuahua, whatever. They start talking. Now Louie's making coffee. And then Donna says, hey, Michelle, Louie, he might be single. She was like, well, he was in here with his girlfriend. Oh, no, that's not his girlfriend anymore. They're on a break. And then Louie says to this complete stranger who has been all in his mouth hole and knows what's happening.
I know. Yeah.
Goes, do you want to go outside and sit with me? And she goes, okay. I was like, does Michelle not need to work?
I mean, she's on, like, her shift has already started. Like, she needs to be in there answering phones and calling people to tell them not to come up there because they've got a busted pipe.
Right. But no, she's got time. She's got time. Yep. You got time to lean. You got time to clean.
Got time to clean. That's right.
So these two are chatting in a super fake conversation, and he's like, "Oh yeah, my girlfriend that you met, she put me on pause." And Michelle goes, "Oh, you should just put her on pause. Anyway, are you nervous about your procedure?" And he's like, yeah, a little bit, but I'm excited about it." And then he says, "Are you single? A beautiful woman like you?" And she goes,
Oh boy.
"Yeah, right." And he goes, "A woman with such amazing style for their hair?"
Yeah, for their
Yeah,
hair. Yeah,
yeah,
I like what you did with your hair there.
yeah. "Would you like to go out like in the future?" And then she goes, "Okay, I'll consider it." And then he's like, "Okay." And then that's the end. It's the whole, we could have done, save your time and energy, Matt Sharp. We didn't need any of that.
We did it, but I
All
will
fake.
say Louis did look good. I mean, not when he showed his teeth, but he
Right.
looked pretty good this episode. I
Mm.
was like, okay, okay.
Once he gets
Let's
a
see
little
you,
weight
Louis.
back on him and gets his teeth
I
fixed, he's
think
going
that's
to,
what it is. I
yeah.
agree, 100%. I love his brown eyes.
Because he's a sober person, which means he's got like clear skin. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, now we got Brittany and Kerok. And Kerok calls Ebony his friend and talks to his
Mm.
goddaughter named Janila on the
Yes.
phone. And so they're talking to the goddaughter on the phone. He's being real sweet. And Brittany's like, "Ebony, don't you think Kerok will be a great dad?" Baby! Doesn't that make you want to have a baby, baby? And he's laying there on the bed. He goes, "I've told you to quit bringing that up. It's so
Yeah.
irritating to me."
And
And
to
she's
all
like,
of us as well.
"Yeah." And she's like, "Baby." And he says, "After talking to the doctor, I'm further away from wanting a baby. I'm not any
Mm-hmm.
closer. I'm getting further from it." And she
Right.
goes, "But having a baby is part of getting married." And he goes, No, it's
No.
not. No,
No.
we could just be
Mm-mm.
married."
Yeah.
And she goes, "No, we have to plan. Like if we're going to have a baby, we have to plan. We have to think really far out. It's part of the process. It's a part of the process." And he goes, "No, we don't. And also, I'm not in this process. This is a you
Right.
process. I'm not in this process." So she's all irritated and she goes, "I don't even understand. Like now he's acting like he doesn't ever even want to have kids." And then he's like, "Maybe I don't ever want to have kids." So,
I mean, her pressuring him about it isn't helping the situation at all. And I honestly think that he will want to have kids. I do.
yeah,
But
I
this
do
is
too.
just way too much for him right now. It's
Just
just
been out of prison like a week.
he's just learning how to FaceTime someone. Like
Right. Yes.
he doesn't have a driver's license yet. Like, come on.
Mm-mm.
Give him
No.
a break. Yeah.
It's
She's doing too
he
much.
he made a great point. He's like, "I transitioned on the inside, but now I need to transition on the outside." Like inside
Yes.
and outside of prison. So she's got to give him some time to live in the world as a man because he'd already done that in prison, but he hasn't done it in the real world. And she's
Right.
just trying to like push, 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 push all these things. Like, give him a minute, give him a couple years, you know?
I don't know if I told you, but I saw an old picture of Kerok before
Okay.
transitioning.
Okay.
Looks almost exactly the same, just longer
Really? Yeah.
hair and dreads. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you would not know that. I mean, how sometimes when someone transitions, you just don't recognize them at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly the same,
Well, it looks
just
just
with
like
dreads,
yeah, it looks like his mom so much. Yeah.
just like his mom. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Interesting. All right, now let's go on to Joy Nomi and Red. And
Child,
let me
this is
read you
some.
this DM I got.
I can't wait.
Uh, this is a bunkie named Valerie wrote me and said, "New Mexico native here. I have no one to share this useless information with." Well, we're here for you. We're
Yes,
here for
always, always.
always want the useless
Mm-hmm.
information. "I caught an editing error in a scene with Joy and Red. They're in the car, and in the background, they pass a Blake's Lotta Burger.
Mm-hmm.
Blake's Lotta Burger is a staple in New Mexico. It's a burger
Huh?
joint with over 60 locations in New Mexico, only 2 in Texas and 2 in Arizona. There's no way they were in Missouri in that scene because Blake's Lotta Burger does not have a location in Missouri, only in New Mexico." So I thought the bunkies might want to know.
Huh?
So they were filming, so they obviously, prediction, they do go to New Mexico. And
Okay.
they're refilming some of this shit in New Mexico because they didn't catch it or whatever. And then we saw somebody just posted that they saw Joy Nomi in New Mexico at the Costco or something. And they said, "Oh, we recognize you from the show. Is is Red here? And she said, you'll have to keep watching. And there's like, but he isn't, are you together? Oh, no, are you together? And she said, you'll have to keep watching. And they said, is he in New Mexico? And she said, do you see him? Like, look, yeah.
So she did a live and then he did a live.
Uh-huh.
And he had been making these posts on Facebook saying, man, I sure wish I had someone here with me tonight. You know, talking about how single he is. He wishes he had a girl. So they're not together. So someone messaged me on the Libra Lounge saying that she had watched Joy Nomi's live.
Okay.
She first said she was very offended by some of the words that Joy Nomi was using to describe Red.
Oh, no.
And, yeah. And she said she just kept using that word. I was like, really? I was like, well, what else did she say? And she was like, she just was bad mouthing him and saying like he only gave her $20 from what another woman gave him. I said, just $20?
Because it didn't make any sense that she was giving him money and then he's turning around and giving her money. Like, that makes no sense.
Yeah, yeah, we have been wondering that. So, okay, I guess $20 does make sense. Like, hey, here's an extra $20. Have it.
And then how does he get it to her? Because the mom, the girl sends it to his mom, and then the mom says, oh, girl, we hadn't even talked about Red's mom.
I mean, what a shocker, because we all really liked his mom. She seemed like she was very, and I'm not saying that she's not. She's very supportive of her son.
Yes.
You know, wants to get, but boy, Matt Sharp needs to start doing background checks on these side characters here, because find out she's a registered sex offender.
Yeah, pedophile with young children.
Yeah,
not that it matters if you're a pedophile. It doesn't matter if you're a pedophile with older children. The fact that she's a registered sex offender with children
is crazy, which makes you think, is that why Joy didn't bring Sway with her to come pick up Red?
Could be.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's deep and dark. That's deep and dark.
Very beyond. It is.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
let's
these
get back to Love and Light. Love and Light.
Love and Light. These dum-dums. So,
yes.
They are, Joy and Red are in the car, and they're like, wow, I can't believe like how the family reacted to say we're going to New Mexico. And she was like, but you know, I can't be out here no longer. I can't be away from Sway. I have to get back to work. I can't be here forever. And his talking head, he's like,
the voice.
Yeah, she's so dumb. And he's like, yeah, like this is my wife, and I got a whole life set up with my wife and my son. Quit saying that. That is so weird. Why do they say that?
I know, it's just as stupid as when she said, we got to go make another baby. You mean your first baby with him? Because y'all don't have a child together. You've
never seen him in person. You're not married.
No. I don't know. They're fucking weird, both of them.
So she's talking in the car like, yeah, and I have to get back to my job, and where is the hotel? And could you even believe that pool was not heated? Wait a minute. Why are you on the phone? And then she says, you know, your mom told me that girls were sending you money. Like, why didn't you tell me that shit? And then she starts crying. And he goes, why are you crying? He goes, I did get money from some of those girls, but half the time I didn't even talk to those girls. And she goes, but I just feel like maybe there's something else I don't know. And what else are you not telling me? And like, who are these girls, Red? And
there's a lot you don't know. You've only met him in person for 2 days. We're on day 2.
Yeah. And he goes, I don't know. You know, also like sometimes these girls, they'd send me pictures and stuff, and like I kept them. And she goes,
why did he say that?
And he goes, I don't know. It's just some of my friends, like some of my homegirls. And she goes, what kind of pictures? Homegirls? like ass pictures? Like half naked? Red?
Oh,
and then he goes, I don't know. It's just some pictures. And she goes, you wanted to keep that shit, and you were jacking off to it. And then you're texting on your phone. You're probably texting your homegirls. And then he goes, you need to simmer down. And she goes, and then, Red, you were in the hole for the last 6 months, and you didn't get a lot of phone calls, and you probably let a phone call go from me just to talk to some other bitch.
He probably did.
And he's just looking over at her, looking at his phone, because she's driving. She can't do anything.
She can't take a breath. She's just going on and on and on and on.
Red, I can't trust you. I'm supposed to bring you home to my family. I don't even want to talk to you. I don't even want to look at you. And then they go to the hotel. Now, we didn't find out if that first night they slept at the hotel, did they bang or not? We don't know.
Oh, yeah, because she kept saying how he went in and how they had sex in the shower. They had sex all night long and all this stuff we totally didn't need to ever hear in life.
Okay, see, I missed that episode because I was like, I guess they had sex. I mean, we didn't hear
They
about it.
did. They had lots of it, apparently.
So the next morning, they're in the hotel room, like kind of packing stuff up, and she's telling him, you need to take responsibility for what you've done, what you did. And the talking head, she goes, yeah, when we got in last night from being at his mom, we just continued to argue, and then it went out of proportion.
Okay.
This girl. Hmm.
To me, the argument could have stopped with, she's like, you need to take accountability. He's like, well, you need to find a real father of your kid.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, let's start there.
Let's do a DNA test of the only 3 black men in your area and
Exactly.
narrow it down.
And see who the dad really is.
So now she's looking at this like old timey like photo album. She's flipping angrily through these pictures, and she goes,
"Why did he have that?
I know, it's hilarious. It's a
why did he bring it? Why did he bring it with him?"
And she goes, "Oh, let me see where I am in here. Oh, page 1, page. Oh, there's 12 people. 15. I've gotten to 15 people, and none of them are me." Then she's looking at a stack of photos that he hadn't had time to put into his photo album.
Now, I did see some of her pictures in that stack. And
you did? Okay, good.
They were highly filtered, and they were only like taken from the phone was way up, and mostly all you saw was maybe a little bit of chest and her face.
Yeah, well, that's what I do. So I get it, girl. I get it. That's what I do. I get it. And so she's looking through the stack, and she's just sort of throwing them on the bed. And she goes, "How would you feel if I had a bunch of photos?" And he goes, "You probably did. You probably just erased them off your phone before you got here. Like, I'm not a dummy."
And I don't think for one second that those 3 guys, the potential dads, are the only guys that she was talking to while he was in prison. There's no way.
She loves to wake up to DMs.
A good morning. Yeah. A good morning text. It's like, oh, really? Are you one of those women? Like, really?
Yeah. So she goes, "No, I've been truthful with you for the last 4 years." Mm-hmm. And he goes, "Come on now. You were talking to people. I was talking to people. Man, I going from prison to prison. I got a warden again." And she's like, "Oh." So he says, she's blowing it out of proportion, but like, yeah, I called those females and I had their pictures. Okay, I did. And I got their money. Sure. But damn, she slept with 3 dudes, not 1 and not 2, but 3. Like, she's going hard on me. It's excessive. It's excessive.
Yeah. I mean, he's not
wrong.
He's not wrong. And I mean, because he's got the trump card every time she says something. It's like, but you were fucking all these dudes. Like, you had a whole human while I was in prison.
Right.
So you're upset with me because I've got a family fucking book of pictures of bitches who sent me their pictures, and I'm just going to carry it around to me from, Missouri to New Mexico and anywhere else I go. Like, why does he? I didn't even know they sold those kind of books anymore.
I know. You have to really look hard to find one. Yeah.
Right.
So he goes, "I'm going out to smoke a cigarette." And she goes, "Okay, that's fine. I'm just going to do everything in here all by myself. I'm just going to keep doing everything like I've always been doing. Don't forget your pictures."
And she kills me with like I've been doing all along. I've been doing it by myself. He's been in prison.
Prison.
What
could he do? What could he do?
Phone calls. That's it. That's all he's good for, are phone calls. That's it.
So then she's crying and talking to the producer, and she goes, "I mean, I don't know. I cheated, okay? I know it. But he just dropped this on me, like with all these photos, and he just expects me to be okay with it."
Like, you dropped a positive pregnancy test on him and expected for him to be okay with it? I mean, y'all are made the same. Y'all are not. No, it's not. It's weird almost. She's in denial.
It's the craziest thing that she's so mad about this photo album. So he goes outside and he calls his bestie, Julie, speaking of face tattoos. And he's like, "Hey, are you pulling up? You pulling up? Like, I'm so irritated. Like, I can't even have my bestie. I can't even have my friends. Like, you're my bestie. I can't even talk to my friends. Like, this is crazy." So Julie rolls up, and boy, oh boy, is she a sight to behold.
That girl looked like she didn't have a drop of blood in her body. What tone of she looked so unhealthy, and then she had on like orange like shadow at the bottom and a missing
Yeah.
tooth and
Yeah.
orange camouflage pants on, and just it was
She
just
had those orange ear stretcher earrings on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of question about Bestie.
She had
She looked pretty hard.
she got a few teeth missing at the mouth and a
Yeah.
face tattoo, and it's a weird hair dye color. And so
Yeah, she
she
did.
comes up and she gets out of the car and hugs him, and she hugged him a little, not
Not
like
like a
with a bestie.
bestie.
No,
No,
it was a
not at all.
wrap your legs around me situation.
No, that's how bitches get shot.
Yeah.
An episode of Snapped. I saw her hugging my husband with her legs wrapped around him. Okay, all right.
Oh, so he goes, yeah, he goes, she's my best friend. She's my best friend for
Mm-hmm.
years and years. I mean, okay, I am very attracted to her. And he goes, let's drive down the street. And she goes, ooh, you're gonna get caught. He goes, I don't care. And he goes, can I kiss you? Your lips look like they taste good. I don't even know how to kiss anymore. Can you help me? Can you teach me how to kiss? Now that I know that he was banging Joy in the hotel
Yeah.
room.
Yeah, and we saw them kiss a lot too.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he goes, can I give you a hickey? I hadn't done that yet. I just want to mark you. Can I do that?
I want to mark you like a fucking vampire. So like when we're away, I can find you because you're
wouldn't be able
carrying
to-
my mark.
He wouldn't be able to give her a hickey because there's no blood coming to that surface. You know what I'm saying?
No, that girl,
Yeah.
I mean, she's highly anemic. She needs like an iron transfusion or something like that because she just looked really unhealthy to me.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
He's like, can I grab your butt? Can I grab your butt?
He's so fucking stupid.
So she's laughing. She's like, stop. So then he's like, listen, I missed all my 20s, okay? I missed all my
Yeah.
20s. I should get a hall pass, at least one. I got to get it out of my system. And I was like, he is on the Keisha plan.
He is. He's trying to follow the steps, but Joy Nomi just won't let him live. She just won't let him. Oh, and remember when you kept talking about his face? It reminded you of something like a porcelain doll. Producer James and I figured it out. Like a cherub mask. That's what his
Cabbage
face
Patch.
looks
It's like a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Yes, that's what it looks like. Yeah, but like an adult version.
His face is so weird to me because it just looks like a little tiny baby face on a man's face.
And on a big body and like a big head. Yeah,
Yeah.
Agreed.
So then Joy is like, I'm just going to drive over to this gas station because I just have to think like this is the closest one to the hotel. So maybe he came over here. I mean, I just don't even know what I should do, if I should go to Mexico without him. So then he and Julie are like getting gas. He's like, oh shit. So he ducks down. And she's like, she's going to see you. He's like, no, she's not. No, she's not. So he's ducking down.
And she's just driving like someone's grandma looking for their kid that snuck out and they're at someone else's house party, just driving around looking for him.
She's driving around.
It's comical.
And she was like, I mean, I could just leave it. I've done everything for the last 7 years for him. So then she pulls up into the parking lot of the hotel. And then we see like ding, 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 ding. Like a caper from a cartoon, like ding, 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 somebody running behind. Those two go into the hotel. Now, did they go into the hotel, or was this a different hotel, or did he get a room?
It had to be a different hotel. They made it seem like it was the same one, but there's no way. I mean, he's stupid, but I don't think he's that goddamn stupid that he would go to the same hotel. There's no way.
She would have seen production filming right behind her.
That's right. There you go. Yeah. Problem solved right there.
So then Joy Nomi is driving, and finally, after 30-something calls,
right,
he answers. And she's like, oh, after 30 calls, you answer? And he's like, hey, what's up? Like, you going to pick me up or whatever? She's like, where are you? And he goes, everything's fine. Like, I had to cool off. I had to get some air. And she goes, oh, it's fine. It's fine for you just to cool off. But no, I'm leaving, and you're not going with me. And he goes, no, I'm ready to go to New Mexico. And she goes, no, you ran off. And he goes, what are you talking about? I'm at my mom's. I didn't run off. I needed to cool off. I'm at my mom's. She goes, I was calling you over and over and over. And he was like, I don't know. I was busy. I was walking to my mom's. Now, meanwhile, he tells us, I don't know. I threw that phone on the other bed. I don't know. I was busy. And they said, did you have sex with Julie? He goes, yeah, duh.
Do you think I'm just going to miss 30 phone calls for no reason? Of course I was having sex.
Yeah. And he goes, I mean, nah, it wasn't like a revenge thing on Joy. Like, it wasn't a revenge thing. I tried to get it out of my system. I'm on the Keisha plan. Come on now.
I agree. I don't think he did it for revenge. I think he really just needed to get that out.
He's like,
understandably.
I think she's hot. She's here. She's willing. She's my best friend. This is what best friends do for each other. It's real best friend style.
Well, he's got bad, horrible taste in women because these are the two women.
Yeah, that's right. That's about right. So in her talking head, she's like, I'm done. I'm going to drop off his stuff at his mom's and I'm going to head to New Mexico. Now, meanwhile, he jumps in the car with Julie. He's like, give me to my mom's real quick because I said I was at my mom's.
Right. And she can't see me pulling up. She can't get there first.
So now she pulls up near his mom's house and he's banging on the car window. And finally he like figures out to open the back door. He's like, ha ha. And he's like laughing and he like figures out to reach in the front and unlock the door. And he goes, hey now, all right, now let's go. We got to go home. We got to take me home. I want to meet my son. Like, let's go. Right. And she goes, what? She goes, I don't want you to come home with me. I need you to get out of the car. And then he's like, no. I got to go meet my son. Let's go. And then she just starts bawling, crying.
Yeah.
And so he looks over at her and goes, now stop. And she goes, Red, you have not changed. You don't give a fuck how I feel. You're stubborn. You just always want things to go your way. And then, like, you're laughing about everything and you're always on your phone. Ah!
Yeah. That phone
out of his hand
really
so fast. It was so fucking funny because she is on this once again. She's doing a full soliloquy.
Yes,
and then she looks over and he's on his phone and she's like, ah! She loses her mind. It was hilarious.
And then he's like, but that's my toy. But that's like my toy. That's my fidget spinner. That's just my fidget spinner. I ain't talking to nobody.
He goes, come on now. This is my toy. I'm having fun. And she's like, get out of the car. Get all your stuff. Oh, I've had it with you.
Yeah.
So she gets out and starts pulling his stuff out and leaving it on the curb and like throwing it in the yard. He's like, now come on now. Come on. You got my trash bags full of clothes. Now what are you doing now?
The neighbors all looking at me.
Oh my God. So he starts to walk up towards the driveway and he watches her drive away and he's like, wow, this is crazy now because she's just like sticking to her guns. I mean, normally by now she would have given in. Shit.
She's just riding a block. I think she's just riding a block. There's no way.
And now that we got this intel from Valerie, now we know for sure that he gets to New Mexico.
I'm actually surprised that he made it to New Mexico. Like that is shocking to me. And I'm almost wondering, did they only send him to New Mexico to reshoot this scene?
I'm wondering if they went to New Mexico because they're going to be on like Life After, and then so they were already signed up for it, so they got to go to New Mexico.
I don't know, but that's a shocker to me.
But by the way, if we're keeping tabs, he's got 2 to go because she banged 3 guys. Now he's only banged one. Yeah. So he's got 2 to go before they're even.
Actually, I think he's got 6 more to go because she had a whole baby.
That's true.
Yeah. Think it is a little extra right there.
Yeah. All right. We're going to let him have 6. We're going to let him have double.
Let him have 6.
So he's got 5 to go, and then he could go to New Mexico and live with her.
Exactly.
Everything's going to be happy and fine because that's how that works. So next week on Love After Lockup, Louie gets his teeth done. And looks in the mirror and he's like, I don't know if I like it. And then his mom, Donna's there making like a face like, oh. Renika tells Asante, we forgot about them.
Yeah, Renika.
Yeah, Renika. She says, you'll never find a woman that loves you like I do. And he's like,
Hold on right there.
Yes. What?
So I saw something that she posted. So someone, Renika? You know how you do the Q&As on Instagram?
Yeah.
And so someone said, hey, was Auntie the girl that Asante got pregnant and who's about to have the baby?
Yeah.
She goes, no, he got no one pregnant. No one's having his baby. So I don't know if like they have found out that this baby that she's carrying really is not his.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was like, She's like, no one's having his baby. She's not pregnant by him. So, yeah, I know.
She
I
needs
know
to
that.
find another inmate so we can get her back on the show.
Yeah, because she's good TV. I agree.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then Red says to Joy, I apologize, okay? Is you coming to get me? And and then he tells the producer, man, I think I lost everything over 1 hour of fun. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
5 hours to go.
Yeah, you
So
do.
Chelsea says to Mikey and Trevor, why are the cops here? She's looking out the front door. So we're probably being led to believe something that's not true. It's whatever.
Right.
Sharae talks to Anthony's mom and asks for the keys back. And then and the mom is like, I'm not even mad at you.
Okay.
All right. And then Brittany of Brittany and Andy is talking to a friend and says, I've got a kicker. Girl, look at this. And she's showing her something. They look like they're in like a Cracker Barrel. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, where are they?
Mm-hmm.
And she's looking at something. It looks like a candle or something. She's like, I've got a kicker. Girl, look at this. I can't tell what they're looking at. They seem to be in a Cracker Barrel, so I can't make heads or tails of that.
Interesting.
Now, let's talk about how many episodes of this we have left.
I thought next week was the 2-hour season finale.
Well, let me look at my schedule here because we don't have much of it left. So we've got, yeah.
December, it's this season finale because December 1st starts Life After Lockup.
That's right. So we've got, now do you think, oh God, don't tell me it's going to be 2 hours.
It's 2 hours.
My day. That just ruined my day. Dang it. All right. And then we've got, you and I have only got 2 more episodes to do of, no, 3. We've got 3 more episodes to do of The Family Chantel. Guys, if you want to hear Keisha and I talk some more, head on over to Pink Shade Prime, which is Supercast and Patreon. You can click the show notes to find that. But Keisha and I are talking about The Family Chantel.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what else will be coming your way to your ear holes this coming Thursday? Instead of Bravo this week, I'm going to have an interview with Chantel herself.
Yay. I got a list of questions. Ask her only my questions. No, I'm just kidding. No, I just want to know like what kind of makeup she uses and like shit like that.
I know. Wouldn't we all love to know? And how long does it take her to do that look?
Yeah.
She always looks so put together.
She does. Yeah.
She does. Love. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm going to interview her, and that will be out on Thursday, which is Thanksgiving. So you'll have a Chantel interview on Thanksgiving for your ears. And guys, as you know, tomorrow is Tuesday. I'll be doing 90 Day Fiancé with Kimberly of A Date with Dateline. So that's what's happening this week. And of course, over on Prime, also on the weekend, we are covering 90 Day the Other Way, which is also coming to a close. And Welcome to Plathville also will be coming to a close at the end of the year. I've got if you could see me looking at my Pink Shade recording schedule, I look like I could launch a missile. I'm just like, it's so complicated between what's going on between now and the end of the year. And then I'm going to be out of town and trying to it's a lot.
And then RIP to Darcy and Stacey. Their show got canceled.
But how do we know that?
Well, that's what the rumors are. Well, yeah, that's rumors. You need to find out.
That. We keep seeing that, but
I need another 5 seasons of these girls. I need to see the wedding between her and Georgie. I need to see.
I know. People said, a lot of the rumors were that they heard they were getting canceled, so they quickly got married real quick to try to see if that would kind of help them out get another season. But
find out, Mary Payne. You got to find out.
Yeah, somebody. Let me ask. I'll get Matt and Jake to reach out to them because they're tight with them, and maybe they could get it really. But what are they going to say? Hey, girl, you get canceled? Or
say, hey, are we going to see the wedding on the new season?
Yeah.
There you go.
And it'll be like, stay tuned, love and light. Hashtag power couple.
Don't forget to shop at House of 11.
House of 11, HM11, what? That's it. And Keisha, I will talk to you next week, and I hope that you have a very happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you. Love you guys.
Okay, bye. Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.